Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. We got some breaking news to cover here. The Las Vegas Raiders have finally extended star tight end Darren Waller. It is a 3-year, $51 million deal that comes out to an average of $17 million per year. When you tack that on to the deal that he already has, you're sitting somewhere around 5 years. Let's say $65 million per. For a tight end like Darren Waller, it is a phenomenal deal. Now, Adam Schefter broke the news saying, breaking, Pro Bowl tight end Darren Waller and the Raiders reached an agreement today on a 3-year contract extension with $51 million in new money. This was one of the most challenging negotiations I've encountered, said Waller's agent Drew Rosenhaus. Now, if you remember, Waller originally hired Clutch Sports to be his agent representation this offseason, and this deal has been going on for months. We've been talking about this for literally months. Rosenhaus said one of the challenges behind it was Waller still had 2 years left on his deal. Not only that, you brought in a brand new regime. So when you take both of those things and you're trying to make him the highest paid tight end in the league, those have some complications. But if you're Josh McDaniels, you're Dave Ziegler, you are in win-now mode in arguably the greatest division in NFL history, which is the AFC West right now. And if you don't want a chance to go out there and be one of the best offenses in the league, then sure, then don't do it. But if you want to have the best offense in the league, you need Darren Waller. So now for a defensive coordinator, they're going to be up late at night. You know why? Because they're like, oh, man, we got to stop Darren Waller. Oh, wait, we got to stop Hunter Renfrow. Oh, shit, we got to stop Davante Adams, too. Having a three-headed monster like that is one of the reasons why I've been saying for a long time, this Raiders team could do something that an NFL team hasn't done since 1980, which is have 2 wide receivers and a tight end all have over 1,000 receiving yards. Think about that for a second. Well, if you guys love the Raiders, if you love breaking news, my job here is to make sure that you guys stay up to date on everything going on around the silver and black. My job also is to make sure that you have a good time doing it. So hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. I'm trying to catch the Chargers YouTube channel in terms of overall subs. Raiders Report, burst the Chargers, FLAC, it's all week. If you believe in that, hit that sub button. Now, in terms of the highest paid tight ends in the National Football League, this is how it stands up in terms of new contracts and new money. Darren Waller at the very, very top at $17 million per year. George Kittle at 15, Travis Kelce at 14.3. Now, technically, the Chiefs have given Kelce a raise on his on a new deal, but when he originally signed, it was 14.3. Dallas Goedert at 14.25. Mark Andrews at 14. David Njoku, Dawson Knox just got a brand new deal at 13.4. And when you look at 2 other names on that list, Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, I think, and I've said this before, that if I was Drew Rosenhaus, if I was Darren Waller, I'd walk into that room and be like, hey, remember that offseason where you paid 2 tight ends $12.5 million, where essentially you were willing to commit $25 million per year to the tight end situation? Yeah, I remember that too. So you better go ahead and pay my guy as well. Now, the Waller deal is, again, 3 years, $51 million at $17 million per year. And I want to know, after seeing those highest paid tight ends, I want to know, after seeing the deal, what do you think about it? The Raiders Report is all about giving the nation a voice. The amount of people that I would meet out in Oakland that would always tell me, man, the thing I love about your show, it reminds me of my family. It reminds me of being able to sit around the table, to be able to sit down at a bar somewhere and talk some Raiders football. So as my guy Graphic Raider always says, talk that shit right now down in the comments. A, B, C, D, or F. I want you to grade the extension right now for me. I am going to give it an A. And the reason I'm going to give it an A, when you have the amount of money that the Raiders do in salary cap space entering today, just over $16 million, second most in the National Football League behind only the Cleveland Browns. If you're going to be aggressive and if you're going to extend guys like Max Crosby, Derek Carr, Hunter Renfrow, you make a big-time deal for Davante Adams. You got a brand-new head coach in Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler. McDaniels, the last time that he was in the AFC West, he really struggled with a record of 11-17. You want to prove to your fan base, you want to prove to your organization, your owner, that right now you are all in, it's doing deals like this. So you're damn right, I'm giving it an A. Now, Waller fired his agent, Clutch Sports. He did still have 2 years left on his deal, so now he is committed to the Raiders for the next 5 years. When he hired Rosenhaus and Robert Bailey, I sat up here and I said, this deal might as well be as good as done. Those 2 guys, especially Rosenhaus, arguably the best in the biz when it comes to getting deals done. I knew Waller wanted to be a Raider. He has always indicated everything to me that he wants to be repping that silver and black. He was showing up to non-mandatory practices, voluntary workouts in the offseason. A lot of people questioned him in terms of, oh, was he just sitting out last season because he wanted the new deal? Oh, was he sitting out in practices because of that new deal? His mindset has always been, I am going to play week one, whether I have a new deal or not. Now, again, Schefter, he said this, that they were seeking a new contract throughout the offseason, signed this morning with his agents, and the deal, they wanted to get it done as soon as possible. I've been waiting for a long time for this deal to go down, man. I really have. So this right now technically does make him the highest paid tight end on average, which pretty good. 17 million or 17th highest before. So for me, man, I think about Waller. I think about everything that he means to this team, everything that he means to this organization. I talked a lot about stats on my Saturday video that I put out in terms of Waller, when you really think about it, being with Derek Carr, because I think about 4 elite tight ends. Darren Waller, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews. Right now, those are the top 4 tight ends in the league. I do think Kyle Pitts will get up there eventually. But when you talk about overall catch rate, Darren Waller with the Raiders at a 73.5% catch rate is better than Kelce, better than Andrews, better than George Kittle for their careers as well. So think about all of that when you really truly sit here and say, Waller at $17 million per year. How many people last season said that he deserved to be paid like a wide receiver or treated like a wide receiver one? Imagine a wide receiver with the amount of talent that Waller has getting $17 million per year. Christian Kirk this offseason got $17 million per year. I think Darren Waller's a little bit better than Christian Kirk. Now, if you don't already have a Raiders Waller jersey, you can get your hands on one right now. These bad boys are high quality, and I found this really, really sick silver one. So I know a lot of people have the black jersey, but if you want this sick silver one, you can go to that link that you see below. It's chatsports.com/Raiders jerseys. Now, maybe you already have a Waller jersey, which is fine. Cool part about that link below, you can get a Derek Carr, you can get a Davante Adams, you can get a Max Crosby. If you want a Raiders jersey, Josh Jacobs, all down there at that link, chatsports.com/Raiders jersey, and I'm going to be nice enough. Producer Jack's going to be nice enough. It's going to be in the comments. It's going to be in the description of today's video. So last season, Waller did, struggle compared to some of the other numbers that he's put up here throughout his career. 55 catches, 665 yards, 2 touchdowns. I look at that, though, and I say, okay, he still averaged over 60 yards per game when healthy. You look at that from an entire season standpoint, he's over 1,000 yards. If Waller, who is going to get a lot more one-on-ones, that's going to be really good for him. It's going to be very good for Renfrow. Going to be very good for Adams. Going to be very good for Derek Carr. Going to be really good for Josh Jacobs in this entire offense. Because when you're 6'6", 255 pounds, you're a red zone nightmare. And then you add on the fact that he can run the way he does. I don't know if we're ever going to get a year again where he has in 2020, where he puts up 107 catches, breaks Tim Brown's all-time single-season record of most receptions in the league. Brown had that for a while with 104. Waller broke that, 1,196 yards and 9 touchdowns. I don't think that we ever see those numbers again, but that's okay, because I think when you really have that 3-headed monster, if all their numbers come down, but it results in more just win babies, that's what it's about, y'all. So hit that thumbs up button. We've been sitting here waiting patiently for this deal to get done for a long time. And I was getting nervous here and there. And if you are finally excited, if you believe that Darren Waller is a top 3 tight end, which I do, I watch his talent. Yes, he's had some injury concerns, but George Kittle is always injured. Hell, he's going to miss week 1. Travis Kelce deserves to be up in that conversation. Mark Andrews deserves to be up in that conversation. But Darren Waller does so much also off the field. He is a great teacher in this locker room. And for a 2 tight end set that we are going to run, it's going to be a fun year to be able to sit here, watch, and overall break down. So hopefully you like that video. Don't do it for me. Do it for Darren Waller. Do it for Raider Nation. Let's show Waller that we got his back. So again, y'all, I'm live here on the Raiders Report. Anytime big-time news happens, my job is to make sure that you know exactly what is going on at all times. Raiders sign him to a 3-year contract extension at $51 million. I do not have the guarantees at this current moment. If I do get them, I will be able to keep you up to date sooner or later, maybe tomorrow when I go live for our Raiders-Chargers watch party. But $17 million per year makes Darren Waller the highest paid tight end in the league. Then when you add that to the other deal that he has, it's 5 years, about $65 million per. Y'all can do the math. I haven't sat down and done the math yet, which I've probably said 100 times already on this show. But this is a good deal for the Raiders. It's a good deal for Darren Waller, and I think it just really shows you that they are in win-now mode. So this offseason, and one of the reasons why I've been very, confident that this is going to happen, you got to listen to sometimes what coaches say. McDaniels doesn't really reveal anything to anyone ever, but he does sort of reveal some things if you follow the team close enough. So when McDaniels was talking about Darren Waller earlier this offseason, he kept saying he's working his butt off. He knows he is going to be a big part of our team. That tells me everything that I need to know, that if Josh McDaniels is sitting up there saying that he knows he's going to be a part of the team, if Waller truly sat there and believed that he was going to be a part of the team, Waller wanted to be a Raider. When you change somebody's life, I doubt the fact that that person doesn't want to rep the shield. And what do I mean by that? Darren Waller had, as we know, a drug problem, cleaned it up, and he has been handling himself like a true man should. Also, he was working at a cashier. The Raiders found him off the Baltimore Ravens practice squad. If I was a player and I was working at a grocery store and somebody gave me a chance because they said, hey, I see talent in you, I would forever be grateful, which is one of the reasons why I think he signed that first deal that he did, which was very team-friendly. And then after the fact, it was like, hey, I've done a lot. I'm here. I rep with you guys. Give me the money that I deserve now. And the Raiders, who have gone up 209% since moving to Las Vegas, I think they did right by their guy here. Now, if you want to interact with me on social media, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram, at MitchellRens365. I'm going to keep you guys up to date on anything going on around this team. And the reason why you see Venmo on there is because we're going to start doing a lot of 50-50 raffles, giveaways, and the way that it's easiest for me to do that is if you add me as a friend on Venmo, at MitchellRens365. I went live on Thursday for the Bills-Rams game, which was an absolute blowout. But we did a 50-50 raffle, was able to give away $65 to people who participated. It was a good time. At least I thought it was a good time. We're going to do it tomorrow on our live show, and basically every single game day, we're going to do 50-50 raffles. We got a lot of giveaways this season because y'all do so much for me, and I want to do a lot better job this year of showing y'all that not only the work that we put in on shows, but also being able to give back to y'all. So that's my goal this year. Easiest way to do it, though, is make sure you're always interact with me on social media. So as it stands right now, the Raiders tight end room, Darren Waller, Foster Moreau, you still got Jacob Horsted there. Hollister is on IR as it stands. But when you have the options that the Raiders do, and Foster Moreau is a really good tight end too. He's not a top 10 tight end. Probably wouldn't even put him in the top 15. And I know he's about to be a free agent next offseason. I will be very curious to see what happens exactly to Foster, how the Raiders use him, and whether or not he will be back. But what I care about is Waller, Davante Adams, Hunter Renfrow. All of those guys signed brand new deals or the Raiders traded for him. And Matt Collins, captain, special teams captain. You also have the deep field threat of Tyron Johnson, deep field threat of DJ Turner. But every single week, you're a defensive coordinator. You got to decide, are we going to get beat by Adams? Are we going to get beat by Renfrow? Are we going to get beat by Waller? And if you decide to try to guard all of them, I do think that that could open you up for some big-time plays because if you're just going to let the top off of a defense, I know Matt Collins, DJ Turner, and Tyron Johnson can take some tops off. Giggity. So predict it, y'all. How many receiving yards will Darren Waller have this upcoming season? He had 665 last season. I want to say 1,196 in 2020, and then just a hair over 1,000 in 2019. We know he has all the talent in the world. Targets are going to be very interesting to see. When I originally did my receiving breakdown for Waller, I had him just a hair over 1,000 yards, and I had him around 7 to 8 touchdowns, I believe. I might have to update some of those numbers because we always get brand new information. But with this type of deal, Waller is going to be involved, which we knew that was already going to happen. All right, y'all, so Waller, the deal is done. I want you to spam 83 on this video. I want you to share this bad boy on social media because it does help me out a lot, and I want to show Waller that we have his back, because I don't always like to, get into tweeting at players. I try to stay away from that. Honestly, I know that might surprise some of you, but Waller has always been somebody who I love. He's always been somebody that I respect, and I know the nation feels the exact same way about him. He represents, I think, everything that Al Davis would want in a Raider. Somebody who is not only great on the field, a great human being off the field, and is always willing to help others around him. And that is something that I respect the hell out of Waller. So if you agree with that, let's show him we got his back. Spam 83 on this vid.